Want to see how to fix the check engine light and reset the engine light for good? This is for you. If your check engine light just came on and you're wondering whether you can keep driving or if you're about to damage something expensive, you need to hear this before you turn the key again. That small amber engine icon does not mean the same thing every time. Sometimes it's a loose gas cap. Other times, it's a misfire that can destroy your catalytic converter in minutes if you keep driving. And the mistake most drivers make right here is either panicking and replacing the wrong part, or ignoring it and hoping it goes away. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to tell whether it's safe to drive, what the most common causes really are, and how to reset the light properly without erasing important diagnostic data or creating a bigger problem. Because clearing the light the wrong way can actually cost you more. Let's start with the one thing you need to check right now as I speak. 1. Is the check engine light solid, or is it flashing? Because a flashing versus a solid check engine light could mean two different things. So, let's say, for instance, your light is solid and the car feels normal, no shaking, no loss of power, and your car is not overheating. You probably can drive some distance without the need to pull over and fix the issue. However, if the light is flashing, on the other hand, then it is a completely different situation. A flashing check engine light is always an indication of a severe misfire, which means unburned fuel is entering the exhaust system. This is dangerous. If you keep driving like that, you risk destroying your catalytic converter, and that is not a cheap mistake. And if your engine is running rough, shaking, or you smell raw fuel, stop driving and get it checked before you turn a manageable repair into a major one. Now, let's talk about what this light actually represents. The check engine light is triggered when the vehicle's computer detects a signal outside its programmed parameters. Though this doesn't necessarily mean the engine is about to fail, however, it means the system has identified a fault code. Some of those codes are minor emissions-related issues, others point to mechanical problems that need your attention. The key is understanding which category of codes you're dealing with. Now, one of the most common causes of the check engine light fault code is something surprisingly simple, a loose or damaged gas cap. And that is because the fuel system is sealed, and if vapor escapes, the car's evap system detects a pressure issue and triggers the light. Tightening or replacing the gas cap can sometimes solve the issue entirely. It sounds almost too easy, but this small detail accounts for a large percentage of check engine warnings. Still, don't assume it's always that simple. Another common cause is a faulty oxygen sensor. These sensors monitor the oxygen levels in your exhaust to help regulate the fuel mixture. When they fail, your engine may run too rich or too lean. You might notice reduced fuel economy, sluggish performance, or a slight hesitation. Ignoring a bad oxygen sensor can eventually damage your catalytic converter, which is far more expensive than replacing the sensor itself. This is where small neglect turns into big money. Then there's the mass airflow sensor. This component measures how much air enters the engine so the computer can adjust fuel delivery. When it malfunctions, you may experience jerky acceleration, stalling, or rough idling. Sometimes cleaning it solves the problem. Other times, it needs replacement. The point is, the light is often a symptom of airflow or fuel mixture imbalance. Spark plugs and ignition coils are also frequent culprits. When spark plugs wear out, they cause misfires. Misfires trigger the check engine light because they increase emissions and can harm other components. If ignored, a misfire doesn't stay a small issue. It spreads. It stresses the ignition system. It overheats the catalytic converter. This is one of those moments where acting early saves real money. And yes, sometimes the catalytic converter itself fails. Symptoms include sluggish acceleration, dark exhaust smoke, and reduced power. But here's something many people get wrong. Catalytic converters often fail because something else was ignored first, like a misfire or oil burning issue. Replacing the converter without fixing the root cause is like patching a leak without turning off the water. Now let's address a major misconception. Resetting the check engine light does not fix the underlying problem. Clearing the light without addressing the cause is simply erasing the warning. If the issue still exists, the light will return. In some cases, resetting it can delay proper diagnosis because you wipe stored data that could help pinpoint the fault. This is where people make avoidable mistakes. So, how do you reset the check engine light correctly and safely once you've actually fixed the issue?
Well, the safest and most reliable method in my experience is using an OBD2 scanner. Every vehicle made after 1996 has an OBD2 port, usually under the steering wheel. Plugging in a scanner allows you to read the trouble codes and clear them properly. This doesn't just turn off the light, it tells you exactly why it came on in the first place. Even a basic Bluetooth scanner paired with your phone can give you powerful insight. This is the method professional mechanics use because it keeps the diagnostic process intact and avoids unnecessary resets.
Now, to reset the check engine light, first locate the OBD2 port. In most vehicles, it's underneath the dashboard near the steering column. You don't need tools to access it. Just plug the scanner directly into that port. Once it's connected, turn your key to the on position without starting the engine. The dashboard light should come on, but the engine stays off.
At this point, power up the scanner. Select Read Codes first. Don't skip this part. Even if you think you know the problem, confirm the stored code. Write it down if you need to. Once you've confirmed that the issue has been repaired, select Erase Codes or Clear Codes. The scanner will ask you to confirm. Accept it. Wait a few seconds until it shows that no codes are present. Then turn the ignition off, unplug the scanner, and wait about 30 seconds before restarting the car. When you start it again, the check engine light should be off.
Another way to do this is by cycling the ignition key on and off several times before starting the car. In some vehicles, this can reset certain temporary faults. It's simple and harmless, but it doesn't work in every case, especially on newer models.
For older vehicles, removing the ECU fuse can temporarily reset the system. But newer cars often have built-in capacitors that maintain memory even when fuses are removed. This method is becoming less effective with modern electronics. Then there's disconnecting the battery. This method clears stored codes by cutting power to the system. It can work, but it comes with trade-offs. You may lose radio presets, seat memory, and learned fuel trim data. Modern cars adapt to your driving style over time. Disconnecting the battery resets those learned behaviors. In some vehicles, it can even trigger additional system recalibration procedures. This should be a last resort, not your first move. And here is the proper way to perform the battery disconnect method so you don't cause electrical issues. Turn the engine completely off. Open the hood and locate the battery. Always disconnect the negative terminal first, not the positive. Use a wrench to loosen it and remove the cable from the post. Once disconnected, press the horn for about 20 to 30 seconds to drain residual power from the system. Wait at least 10 to 15 minutes before reconnecting the negative terminal securely. Tighten it firmly. Then start the car and check the dashboard. That should reset. Now let's talk about something many drivers overlook: completing a proper drive cycle. After repairs, the car must go through specific operating conditions before it is considered all systems ready. This is especially important before emissions testing. A drive cycle involves allowing the engine to warm up fully, driving at steady speeds, coasting without braking in certain phases, and allowing idle periods. If you clear codes right before an emissions test without completing a drive cycle, your vehicle may fail simply because the monitors aren't ready. This is not a mechanical failure, it's an incomplete system verification. Here's where confidence matters. Don't rush to reset the light just to make it disappear. Diagnose first. Confirm the fix. Then reset properly. The check engine light is not your enemy. It's a warning system designed to protect your vehicle and your wallet. If the light keeps returning after you've cleared it, that's your signal that the issue hasn't been resolved. Check connectors. Inspect hoses. Make sure replacement parts are installed correctly. A loose connector can re-trigger a code immediately. And if you're seeing repeated misfire codes or catalytic converter codes, don't ignore them. Address the root cause before replacing expensive components. Balanced action beats panic every time. A solid check engine light doesn't mean disaster. A flashing one means act immediately.
A reset isn't a repair, and guessing is more expensive than diagnosing. If your check engine light is on right now, start with a scan. Read the code. Understand what it means. Then fix the cause before you clear it. That approach alone separates informed drivers from those who end up paying for the same repair twice. And if you want to avoid the most common misdiagnosis mistakes people make after seeing codes like P0420 or P0300, watch the next video, where we break down exactly what it means when you see the check engine light and the traction control lights pop up at the same time on your dashboard. Link will be in the description box below.